So to touch all of these topics, our financial solutions panel, Gary Quackenbush, our financial solutions attorney. Good to have you in. I
Craig,
can't shake everybody's
Thank
hand.
Thank you very much.
Good to shake yours. Good to see you again. It's been a minute.
Good to see you too. Great show
Eran
today.
Sinai, credit expert.
Hey, Craig.
I call him the credit magician, this guy. Years ago, I built a credit company. He is the best as far as information and helping people.
No doubt.
And Michael Ripley with the law offices of Michael Ripley, who you've taught me a ton about loan modification. And I know when people hear loan modification, they think of some of the horror stories or people that have been ripped off, or maybe they have. Loan modification is still available. He's getting principal reduced, interest rate reduced. So all really, really good stuff. But Gary, let's start with you.
All right.
Bankruptcy. Means you're broke. Life is over if you have to file bankruptcy. At least that's what people think. Except for Donald Trump, who's filed it. How many times?
Corporations 3 times.
He's filed his BK Corporation 3 times. He's hardly broke. I think we just don't get an education on the topic. Now, I've never had to file it, but I encourage anyone who's in a tough debt situation to remember you only live one life.
That's right.
Bankruptcy can be a solution. But here's where we get our education from bankruptcy. A clip we've played on past shows that I want to run again of what people probably think a BK is.
All right, let me ask you this, Brett. Do you want to risk $28,000? Nah, it's really no point.
My mama didn't raise no fool, Pat.
well, that's where we diverge.
R?
4 R's. We'll add another $1,600. $500.
H.
1 H. That's about as painful as a bankrupt gets. Brett, I am sorry. Just keep a good thought. Boy.
That was just painful to watch. Do you hear him say, "Mama didn't raise no fool"?
Mama didn't raise no fool.
Should have solved the riddle, the puzzle. Is that what it's called in Wheel of Fortune?
He should have resolved the puzzle. And
did you know what it was? It's something about grass skirts and
tattered shirts and grass skirts.
Amazing.
And the thing that's funny is then you have Pat Sajak that says, "Oh, that's about as painful as a bankrupt gets."
Well, look, but here's the truth. I'm going to say my piece, and then you educate us real quick. But
okay.
I think that that's what people think about bankruptcy. They believe that it means that you lose all of your money. You had $28,000 there, and it goes away. When really, Gary, what happens when you file bankruptcy?
Well, the thing is, under California law, you're protected. And I think just the thing to remember is that the Constitution provides you the opportunity to file for bankruptcy. You can protect assets. You can protect a home, retirement accounts up to $1 million. There's a lot of assets to protect. So if it's done right, you don't lose everything. You get a fresh start. It's like Control-Alt-Delete or the reset button. And it can be a great thing. It's a tool that you need to know can exist for a financial solution.
What is it like when someone comes into your office and they have $100,000 in debt, they have student loans, IRS, whatever it is, they can't afford it, they think they're broke, and you explain to them that in 90 days you can have all of that debt gone and protect their retirement and get them a fresh start?
I see this a lot. And it's like, I go, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I can't believe I just this weight came off my shoulder. I literally have had 3 clients in the last 3 months start doing this, going, oh my gosh, I feel this weight off my shoulder." Because you make the decision, you move down the road, and you just go on, and now they're going to be successful.
The big thing is, I don't want people to feel like I'm encouraging you to go run and file bankruptcy, but I also see how it breaks up marriages. People literally take their own lives over it. There's no reason for that. There's no debtor's jail. There's some very wealthy people that have had to do it. So do it the right way, and you also got to protect your credit, and that's why we got Eran Sinai here. You see credit reports every day.
Yeah.
Typically, how does a bankruptcy affect credit?
Well, in a good way, eventually.
Yeah.
Long term. Short term, yes. But here's the funny thing. Short term, people think, oh, it's going to ruin my credit. But if you've been having problems paying your bills already, your credit is already affected.
Yeah.
So bankruptcy is going to come and if you qualify, right, Gary? If you
qualify, good point.
Right?
So
if you
that's
qualify,
another statement of we're not encouraging people to just run and file. You got to qualify for it.
Correct.
You can only do it once every 8 years.
Right. So if you do qualify, all of a sudden your financial position is actually better because you have no more debt. Your debt ratio is 0. Okay. And now you closed all those derogatory accounts, and you'll be surprised in 6 months people start getting offers for small credit cards.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're less of a risk as if they didn't go to Gary and worked on a bankruptcy, because creditors will say, okay, things happen. Now you're responsible again, and we can deal with you again.
I want to take this as a moment here to remind our audience, look, these can be tough situations. Probably a lot of people watching right now that either you're in this situation or you know somebody that is. If you go to craigsewing.com and you share anything with me, I will gladly introduce you to these guys, help you develop a great plan. You'll also see on the screen there's my phone number. That honestly is my cell phone number. You can call me. I will always take the call of any viewer of the show or any listener of my radio show. I say that without any hesitation, and I will always respond before my head hits the pillow. I care very much about helping you. Now, the thing about credit, Eran, is that I think people are starting to get savvy to how it works, and they don't like it. 60 Minutes, we have a clip here that the media is actually starting to cover. Now, I really like 60 Minutes. I think throughout this show I've ripped on the 24/7 news cycle multiple times, but 60 Minutes is a program I really respect. Here's 60 Minutes talking about what's going on with credit, identity theft, and credit scores.
Whether we like it or not, we live in an age where much of what goes on in our daily lives is monitored, collected, and sold to interested parties. Our driving records, our medical history, our internet traffic, and most importantly, our credit information. A mistake on your credit report could cost you money. It can increase the interest you pay on your loans, prevent you from getting a mortgage or buying a car, landing a job, or getting a security clearance. It's not uncommon. A new government study to be released tomorrow indicates as many as 40 million Americans have a mistake on their credit report. 20 million have significant mistakes. And our own investigation of the credit reporting industry shows that those mistakes can be nearly impossible to get removed from your record.
40 million mistakes. I mean, it's just crazy. Now, talk about identity theft. Talk about another crazy number.
20 people a minute. So I want people to take their calculators and do 20 times 60 minutes an hour, time 24 hours a day, times 365 days a year.
I think it's like just under 10 million. I just did that math.
Yeah,
in my
maybe.
head.
You're close, very close.
Eran's been on my radio show before. 10 million.
Over 10 million.
People.
Way over.
What is it?
A year.
A year.
And people, some people don't even
I'm
know
one of those
about
people.
it.
Have you guys, Michael?
I've not had it happen.
Never?
No.
Gary?
I don't know. I have to have Eran check for me.
Yeah, get a free credit report. He can help you with
My
that.
wife had her Social Security stolen, so when we couldn't file taxes last year on
He's a credit guy.
And because somebody had taken her Social, so we had to find, mail it in. It's insane. Everybody, people don't even know that the credit is stolen until they go to buy a car. And I had a client who went to buy a car, not only had some collections, but apparently his credit report came back saying he's deceased.
Wow. And you see this stuff all the time.
All the time.
It's unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and the credit bureaus, the reason this happens is they're making billions of dollars selling your information. They don't really regulate it. There's no credit police. You don't learn about it in high school or college. In fact, when have you ever learned about credit except for watching the show or listening to my radio show? Michael Ripley, we're a little bit limited on time, so I want to be really quick and direct with you. Loan modification, very misunderstood. People have been ripped off trying to get their mortgage modified. Explain some of the success stories that you're having with our listeners from the radio show and with some of your clients, and help people understand how it works.
Well, the stated goal of loan mod is to get your house payment down to 31% of your gross. So that's what it starts with. So if you're above that, then there's a good chance to qualify. All the other things go into it. Bankruptcies, we see bankruptcies before, during, and after loan mods. The factual situation dictates what's going to happen there.
What are some of your success stories? What have you seen as far as San Diego homeowners where you've saved their home? What have you been able to accomplish?
We just had a high and a low. We had a real blue-collar fella that came to us, economic hardship. We got his house payment reduced from $1,500 a month to about $900 a month. 40% savings a month. It was a world of difference for him.
Right.
I had another one last week that they had a $305,000 principal reduction off of their loan from $900,000 down to below $600,000. And they were four years behind on house payments. And
if you are upside down on your real estate, if you're having a tough time with your mortgage payment, loan modifications have got a bad name because a lot of failed mortgage guys ran into the space. They made new laws to protect you. Michael will chat with you. He will not charge you any money up front. And if you can get it done, he's going to take you through the process and help you. And you guys are all really doing this for our listeners of the radio show. You're doing it for the viewers of this TV show, and you're doing it for clients every day. So I think it's important that we thank you because, look, when things are going well, things can be easy. But when things are tough, when your back's against the wall, when you have a house that's underwater, when you have a credit issue, or you're been identity stolen like I have, or you have debt, that 4-letter word that nobody likes, isn't it nice to have a turnkey solution that these guys can provide? And the truth is, unfortunately, the space you're in, there's a lot of bad guys in it. So it's tough to find guys like you. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in here today.
Hey, thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Greg.
the left-handed shake.
That's awesome.
All right, that's all we
Boy
got
Scouts.
today. We got to run, but thank you for watching The American Dream. We're going to be back here again next week. Don't forget to go to craigsawing.com, and don't forget to listen to 1170 AM KCQ at 6 p.m. We're out.